So the Sony E3 2017 press conference has just concluded, and while everything is fresh in my mind, I'd like to go over it with you guys and share my thoughts. So the first game was Days Gone. Days Gone reminds me of The Last of Us. Have you played The Last of Us? If not, all you need to know is that it is one of the best games ever created. Actually, the first game to bring a tear to my eye. Hey, I'm not a bitch. From the mechanics that we saw, the way he was getting grabbed and struggling to get out, the stealth, post-apocalyptic world, the zombies, it was screaming The Last of Us. Now, I'm not saying that it's a Last of Us clone. It just had some similarities, and that's not a bad thing because, like I said, The Last of Us is one of the best games ever created. In my opinion, of course. At first, I didn't know if this was the zombie game that we saw before, which was Days Gone. We saw a trailer of this game a long time ago, and even though zombie games are kind of oversaturated right now, I thought that Days Gone looked like a really good zombie game. The way the swarm was coming at the guy and the gameplay that we saw before looked really good. So when I'm seeing this game and I'm seeing a survival-like game, I'm like, well, this looks cool, but it kind of looks familiar. And if it's that one zombie game, then holy shit, we got this survival human versus human aspect plus the zombies, and you put those together, it's going to make one good-ass game, and it was Days Gone. So in the beginning, they were showing us what seemed to not be a zombie game, and then they showed us, oh yeah, it's not just one zombie, not just 5 zombies, it's a fucking horde of zombies. I'm probably the only one who was oblivious to the fact that this was Days Gone from the beginning, but yeah, when I found out, I was hyped. Using the zombies to his advantage, like he blew up the gate to have the zombies then swarm and go after the people to save his friend, I think that was cool. You don't see that much in other games to actually use zombies to your advantage. Even though most of the other mechanics, like the stealth and stuff, show up in other games like The Last of Us, this game still looks amazing, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing this. And I have to give it to the graphics. Now, there's so many games that are shown at E3 that were shown during Microsoft and Bethesda that have amazing graphics, so to keep saying, hey, the graphics look good, of course they look good. It's 2017. PS4 and the Xbox One have some amazing specs that can do this, so it's nothing new that these games are looking amazing, but as someone who's still amazed by graphics till this day, I just have to say something about it. Then, guys, they announced Monster Hunter for the PlayStation. They announced Monster Hunter for the PlayStation, just let that sink in. Now you guys are probably like, oh my god, I gotta go buy a PlayStation, or you're thinking, they announced it for more than that, and that's right. It's going to be on Xbox One, and it's going to be on PC. Just talking about this right now makes me want to explode. It was one thing to see a new Monster Hunter game, and to see it with these kinds of graphics, like super realistic, but then to see it being shown on Sony PlayStation, where it was originally supposed to stick with, but then it went off to Nintendo, which wasn't such a bad thing because, you know, it was definitely a good business move and it was very successful for the franchise. But as someone who started playing the game on PSP and who owned a PS3, I was excited for it when they said it was going to release on PS3, and then it never did. So to see it coming back to PlayStation had me like, no fucking way. I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But when I saw that great sword in the beginning of the trailer, I just knew this is Monster Hunter. I think seeing this trailer was the most excited I've been during E3 so far. But then after the trailer and checking Twitter, someone sent me a link and it came from Gematsu, and they said that it's going to be on Xbox One and PC as well. And then they announced Shadow of the Colossus. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this because I know they did remake it before. So some people feel like they're just milking this game remaster after remaster. But the last remaster was just an HD remaster if I recall right. This, however, you can see that this shit looks like a totally different game. It looks brand new. Up-to-date graphics on a new engine, but it's the same old Shadow of the Colossus because if you've played that game, then you can see that these massive enemies all look familiar. I haven't beat this game yet. I was playing it on PS Now, which is a service you can pay, I don't know, $15 or so a month on PlayStation, and you get to play a bunch of old games, Shadow of the Colossus included. I probably got like 60% through the game, and there was like slight lag because these games are streamed instead of downloaded to your system, so I just kind of stopped. But it is a game I've always been interested in and I definitely want to beat, so this gives me a chance. On top of that, I'm hoping that they change the controls or fix the camera angles because back then, it was complete shit in my opinion. And then we saw God of War. Now, to keep God of War being exciting, to keep this franchise being successful, I think they needed to change things up, and that's exactly what they did. The last trailer that we saw, it had me thinking like, yo, what's wrong with Kratos now? Is he just old, and is he like more human? Does he just have an axe and he's going to fight like ogres and trolls? And is the combat going to be mediocre compared to the usual hack and slash we get in the God of War games? But this one pushed all those thoughts aside because it showed some crazy combat. Okay, not crazy, but very violent executions and super impactful combat. I think if it was too hack and slashy, that would take away from the survival feel that they're going for with this one. And it looks super immersive. Like the trailer alone had me immersed as hell. Especially during the sea serpent part, I was like, holy shit, it looks so good. I wasn't that hyped for this game before. I actually had a few worries, but now God of War is on my top 5 to play this year, or you know, whenever it comes out. It's on my top 5 watch list. Then we had Detroit Become Human, and that is a game that I'm also interested in because I like those choice kind of games like Life is Strange. Telltale's The Walking Dead, I love playing these games and streaming them because it's so much fun to see everyone's reaction when they get pissed at the dumb choices that I make. And it's also cool to see that you're in control of so many different outcomes. I don't really have much else to say about it except it looked amazing. The facial expressions, the graphics, the storyline that we pretty much now know from this trailer. So another game that's on my watch list. And the last game that I'm sort of excited for is Destiny 2. I like Destiny. I played the first one. I didn't keep up with it, but I do plan on getting Destiny 2. My only complaint is that Destiny doesn't have that wide of a variety of enemies and races. And also, are they going to have new classes, or are these classes just going to have some upgrades and different abilities? I think if they're going to introduce a whole nother game, they have to have new classes or at least add them later on. And that's all from Sony's presentation that really had me like, damn, I gotta talk about this with my subscribers. I think that Sony won the show. The minute they showed Monster Hunter, they won. That was it. They didn't need to show anything else. Everything else was just the icing on the cake. So let me know what you guys thought about Sony's presentation. Who do you think won the show, and what game did you see at E3 that got you hyped the most, or that you're looking forward to the most? I look forward to your response, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon, friends.